Welcome, everyone, to another deep dive. Today, we're getting into something really delicious. A baking question lots of us have probably wondered about. How do you get that amazing, bright, moist lemon cake? You know, the kind that looks super elegant, like from a bakery, but without needing professional pastry skills. Well, we think we've found an answer. We're diving into a lemon mascarpone cake recipe. It's from Fork and Fry. And honestly, it sounds like the perfect mix of bright, creamy, just irresistible.
It really does. And what's great about Fork and Fry here is how they approach it. They really talk about the method behind it all. They make a point of saying this isn't just some random recipe they found. It's, and I'm quoting here, crafted straight from real kitchen moments, tested, tasted, and perfected by our Fork and Fry family.
Okay, so that sounds like it touches on that EEAT idea we sometimes talk about. Experience, expertise.
Exactly. Experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. It signals they probably run into the same problems you might at home, like maybe a lemon cake turning out dry or mascarpone going weird and curdling.
Oh yeah, definitely had frosting issues before.
Right. So their recipe is likely designed to solve those problems from the start. It's built on actual trial and error. So it's not just tasty, it's reliable, trustworthy.
That makes a lot of sense. That's the kind of expertise you want. Okay, so let's talk about the cake itself, that base layer. The source says it's buttery, moist, full of fresh lemon zest and juice, and importantly, requires no fuss.
Mm.
For someone who bakes a bit, what might Fork and Fry be doing technique-wise to get that moisture and flavor without overcomplicating things?
Well, often the magic there is in simplicity, done right. It probably comes down to really precise ratios,
Yeah.
wet ingredients to dry, and maybe the mixing method. Could be something like reverse creaming, perhaps.
Reverse creaming, how does that help?
It's actually a pretty straightforward technique. It coats the flour with fat before adding the liquid. This limits gluten development, which is key for a tender, really moist crumb, and it helps prevent overmixing. So you get this delicate texture that tastes sophisticated, but it's achievable, even if you're newer to baking.
Okay, interesting. That makes sense for getting the base right. But then you've got the fillings, the frosting. That's where things can get fancy or tricky. This recipe has homemade lemon curd between the layers and then that whipped mascarpone frosting. Now, mascarpone, how different is that from using, say, a standard cream cheese frosting? Why choose mascarpone here? Does the source explain that choice?
It absolutely does. Mascarpone has a much higher fat content than cream cheese, significantly higher, and that gives it this incredible richness and a really silky smooth texture that, well, cream cheese just doesn't quite match. It also means it's generally less likely to split or get grainy, especially with the acidity from lemon, if you handle it right, that is.
Oh, okay.
And Fork and Fry apparently gives details on how to get that silky finish, making sure it's not too sweet, just elegant. They say it gives that bakery level look without needing like fancy piping bags or anything. It's made to be spread easily.
Right. But I think lots of us have felt that nervousness with ingredients like mascarpone, especially adding lemon. You worry it'll split or be too runny, right? Does Fork and Fry give specific tips? Something concrete, not just be careful, to guarantee that smooth frosting?
Yes, they do. And this is where that experience part of EEE really shows. The recipe emphasizes temperature, making sure the mascarpone is cool, but not, fridge cold and hard before you whip it. And another tip might be adding the lemon zest before the juice. That can help stabilize the mixture. It's these little specific details that prevent those common mistakes. Gives you confidence, and a better result.
Those practical tips are gold.
Mm.
Okay, so you've made this beautiful cake. How versatile is it, really? They say it works for big events, but also just casually. How does it manage both?
Well, I think it's because the baking and assembly are positioned as no fuss.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like it requires hours and hours of intense work that you only want to do for a huge party. And crucially, they mentioned it keeps well in the fridge. So you could totally bake it on a Sunday and then have lovely slices during the week. It fits into real life. It's about bringing that bit of elegance or joy into an ordinary day, maybe a Tuesday night, not just for birthdays or big celebrations.
That sounds lovely, like bringing a bit of sunshine onto your plate any day of the week.
Exactly. Sunshine on a plate. That's a great way to put it. And if you want to try making this sunshine yourself, you can find everything you need over at www.forkandfry.com. Just pop lemon mascarpone cake into their search bar. You'll get the full recipe, the step-by-step photos, which are super helpful, all those insider tips we talked about, ingredients, temps, the detailed instructions. everything.
And definitely let us know if you do make it. We'd love to hear how it goes. You can write to us or maybe leave some feedback on our social media pages. We always like hearing from you.
Yeah, absolutely. And just remember, the kitchen isn't only about cooking. It's really where memories get made.
Yeah.
Whether that's a quick Tuesday treat or, a big celebration cake, this recipe feels like it's designed for exactly those moments.
Well said. Until next time, happy baking from all of us here, and check out forkandfry.com.